Hello there, I'm Mike Russell from musicradiocreative.com. In this video, I'll show you the best settings I've found for live streaming in OBS Studio. This is part of a brand new tutorial series on my channel all about live streaming and how we do the live streams at Music Radio Creative. Plenty more to come, but right now we're focusing on OBS Studio. So this is OBS Studio. It's a great free and open source piece of software, and I've tried so many other pieces of software for live streaming, always come back to this. It has all of my scenes, my transitions, everything I need to do a fantastic live stream. But of course, part of that is clicking the settings button down here and then editing the stream settings so that you see a crisp, clear, nice sounding live stream at the other end. So I just wanted to show you what I do for my live streams. First of all, in the stream, you can set up the service you stream to, whether it be Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Facebook Live, or I actually use a service called Restream to send out to multiple platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, all at the same time. Next video I do will be a dedicated video on this fantastic service, but if you want to check them out, go to mrc.fm/Restream. Once you've got that all set up and connected with your Restream account or your stream key put in there, you'll want to get the output settings all correct. Now, right here on the screen in front of you, these are the settings I'm currently using to live stream. But of course, I'm very open to what you have to say in the comments and tweaking these, as I seem to be on a constant basis. But let's go through these. First of all, right here, I've changed the output mode to advanced, from simple to advanced. And audio track is 1. I leave it as 1. That's the track, my main output track, and we'll look more at audio for live streams in future videos too. Here for the encoder, X264. Now, I do have the opportunity of using my graphics card, and I do have a rather beefy graphics card, and this has worked really well for me, and it means that the CPU usage is very low when I'm live streaming, but just in my experience, I believe that the software encoder and using the CPU seems to produce a crisper and clearer picture for me. Rate control will be CBR. That's a constant bit rate. Most of the services you send to will require that. If you select VBR or any of these other ones, VBR is variable bit rate. You're sending different bit rates and it can get confusing at the other end. So I leave that as constant. And I tend to be 6,000 kilobits per second. And the reason for that is I'm streaming at 1080p, and this is YouTube's top recommended max at the moment for streaming. Plus, you need to look at your upload speed. I can send about 20 megabits per second, which means I can easily get 6,000 kilobits per second up my internet pipe. But of course, if you're sending less, you might want to reduce this as low as 3,000. I leave use custom buffer size unticked, and my keyframe interval should always be 2, and so should yours. For CPU usage, the lower, the higher the quality, but the more strain on your CPU, and the higher, the more blocky and pixelated you're going to be. I've had good experiences with faster, but I'm experimenting with fast and medium as well to see how far I can push it before my CPU tops out. It's a pretty high-end AMD Ryzen CPU, but that's where I'm at right now. Profile always main, and tune should be none. No options required here, and those are my basic video streaming settings. I've also got recording and audio settings, and just briefly here, my bitrate is 160, which is good for live streaming, and all the other tracks set to the highest 320 if I want to split out, say, my voice and my music, and maybe Isabella on the guest microphone to different tracks. Later on for editing to a podcast, I want the highest possible quality there. We'll look in more detail at audio in another section, and video over here. This is super important. I'm streaming at 1080p. That's why my base canvas resolution is 1920 by 1080, and so is the scaled resolution 1920 by 1080. I'm downscale filtering using the bicubic algorithm, and my FPS at the moment is 30 frames per second. I'm not a gamer, so 30 for general video and screen tutorials works absolutely fine for me. And these are the best settings I've found so far for OBS Studio. But let me know how you get on with this down in the comments below, and stick around as there's going to be many more videos on my channel all about live streaming with a big live streaming tutorial. The next video that you won't want to miss will all be about restreaming to multiple platforms.
music we